History will provide you with what you will pick on to make friendship or even destroy friendship. It's a matter of choice. Let me take you back to the history of Rwanda and the DRC. In 1923, after the defeat of the Germans during the First World War, the then Rwandan army that was allied to the German army that fought the British and the Belgians that were coming from the West. That army in 1923, the Rwandan army was disbanded by the Belgians, totally disbanded. And who took over? It was the Belgian army and the Congolese army. The First Republic of the Congolese and the Belgians, they took over from 1923 in Rwanda, and in fact in Burundi. The Belgian commander, Colonial Regist, who was in Kisangani, deployed in Rumangabo, and deployed in Rwanda and also in Burundi. So Rwanda lived under the Congolese army, the First Republic, from 1923 up to 1963, when the first Rwandan military officers graduated. So that is how many years? 40 years. But Rwanda has nothing to complain about that because it's history. It's our history. It's the colonial history. That's what it had for us. The colonial army, but with the Congolese as part of it. Most of the clerks, the administrators, the clerks, you may call us civil service or whoever, most of them were Congolese here. They were Congolese. From Kasai, from Katanga, from where? We have a history together. In 1959, when there was that first genocide against the Tutsi, the exodus of the Tutsis and the refugee problems within the region, most Rwandans fled to Zaire, to Congo, others to Tanzania, others to Burundi, others to Uganda. So Congo, the DRC hosted our people. They benefited from education. They grew up. There was no problem. So that is the history together. There is what you can pick in history that will create some bondage between you and you live together, apart from being natural neighbors. So even that history, if you used it well, it is a good basis for people to live together. In 1990, when the RPF, the Rwandese Patriotic Front, and its military wing, the Rwandese Patriotic Army, attacked Rwanda from Uganda, we were part of the Ugandan army. When we broke out and attacked Rwanda, to regain have our people who had been refugees for 30 years come back, to change the course of history here, to change so many things, governance and others, to liberate our country. We attacked on the 1st of October 1990. By the 5th of October 1990, Mobutu intervened to fight us, to fight refugees who were returning to their own country, intervened with a whole division, the Division Spéciale Présidentielle, the DSP. It was commanded by Colonel Mayeri and another Major Nabioro. So Mobutu intervened and fought on the side of the genocidal government, on the side of the government that was persecuting us. In other words, he fought on the side of the Habyarimana regime, the genocidal regime, to stop us from liberating our own country. And I think this also forms part of the strains, the quarrel we have today. That's where it starts from. So the whole of October, we were fighting the Congolese army in the eastern part of our country. At that time, maybe Mobutu was intervened on the side of the genocidal force because he was very close to the leadership here. So at that point, the DRC government clearly identified itself with the genocidal regime. After 1994, when the genocide was stopped by the Rwandese Patriotic Army here, and the RPF. Of course, the genocidal force, all of it equipped government, military, migrated to the DRC, to Eastern DRC. The Zairian government then, Mobutu government, received them, settled them along our border. Just a few kilometers, sometimes less than a kilometer from the border, established the camps. But even before 1994, or during the genocide, Mobutu had also given access and way to the French intervention force known as Zone Turquoise. It was based in Kindu, it was based in Bukavu, and it used the Zaire as an entry point into Rwanda to support the genocidal regime. So you can see how Zaire, DRC, comes into play in all this history of genocide. So from 1994 to 1996, the genocidal forces, militias and government forces that had been received by Mobutu along our border, the whole stretch, western stretch, very close to the border, 1994, 95, they had started incursions into Rwanda. They had started entering Rwanda, killing our people again, selectively killing the Tutsis that had been saved or had survived the 1994 genocide. But at the same time, the genocidal forces that crossed into Zaire in 1994, on reaching there, they found other people, Congolese, similar to Tutsis that they had killed here in Rwanda. So they embarked on them and also persecuted them and killed them. Some of them made their way and came to Rwanda, went to Burundi, went to Uganda for refugee. That was 1994. Those who survived the Congolese of Tutsi culture and origin. So this also lays basis for the current conflict.